Good afternoon, everyone. We are here for our third monthly mental health wellness panel interview discussion. I am LaWanna Bradford, co-founder and visionary of Celebrate You, Women Embracing Wellness, where we are here to establish a platform where women can elevate to the highest version of themselves so that they can impact the lives of their family, the community, the nation, and ultimately the world. And I'm so excited to have three dynamic wellness experts as part of this panel discussion today. We have Lindy Eldridge, Wendy Watkins, and Michelle Vismaya Rubin, also fondly known as the Gratitude Gangsta. Ladies, before we get into the discussion, if you want to just quickly just tell a little bit about what it is that you do and why mental health and wellness is so important to you. And we'll start with Lindy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lindy Eldridge. I am your Chief Happiness Officer of the Happiness Jungle. I am a worldwide keynote motivational speaker, a humorist, an author, creator of an amazing emotional support body pillow, as well as a TV, radio, and podcast personality. And my topics are always based on the true philosophies of happiness and joy. And once we understand that, our mental health can bring us into a physical health that just sparks our world.
Thank you. Thank you. Wendy.
Beautiful. Hi, everybody. I'm Wendy Watkins, WW, and I am your joy strategist. I am passionate about helping people raise their joy factor, teaching people how, actually, so that they are living a life that they love. That would be you, all of you, living a life that you love. And knowing also that impact around our mental health when we're flourishing, when we're feeling that joy, helps us to be more productive, more engaged, healthier, and we have more fun. So that's what I'm up to in the world, and super excited to be here again this month, ladies, with all of you.
Fantastic. And Ms. Maya.
So I am Vismaya Rubin, founder of Living in Gratitude Today, teacher, speaker, best-selling author, but you know my favorite role is that of a gratitude gangster. What? So I have an online gratitude movement, and my goal really is to show people that even in ordinary life, regardless of what's going on, if we train our brain to search for those moments of gratitude, those moments that, like Wendy said, bring us joy, that make us feel good, we will find them. But the key is to have a consistent practice all the time. So super excited to be here with y'all. I keep fixing my shirt, so just so you know that I'm not trying to be funny, but my
hashtag grateful. We see it.
It's crooked, which is perfect for today.
Yes. Well, our topic today comes at us from, thank you so much, Wendy, for this topic. It's how to create your own summer camp, play, laugh, and relax stress away. And we all know that everything that's going on, everyone's a little frazzled, whether it's the pandemic, whether it's unemployment, whether it's are we opening, are we closing, what's going on, are our kids going back to school or not, will they be virtual, or we just don't know what's going on. And we're having to do this juggling act with our responsibilities, which are impacting us emotionally, which then has a mental burden that it's putting on us, as well as a physical. So it's summertime, right?
Yes.
And summer is when the feeling's supposed to be easy. So why do we think, ladies, I'm just going to toss the ball to you for a few minutes to talk about why is summer so exciting to us? You know, we look forward to it, and now we're like, now what? What are we supposed to do? So
I want to jump on that one. As a teacher for 20 years, I remember the last day of school singing the Alice Cooper song, "School's Out for Summer," and my kids were looking at me like, "What are you singing?" And I would sing it at the top of my lungs so you could hear me from one end of the hallway to the other. And really, it was a time for me to reboot and rejuvenate and to play and to explore and to have fun. And so that's really, and it's my birthday month. So that's absolutely summer for me equates to play and freedom and fun and exploration.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I agree with Maya. I think of summertime as a child, going to camp, and it was all about being outside, coming from being inside all the time to being outside and having fun and creativity. Like I could still see myself with my lanyard, like making my lanyards at camp. And there's also something I think as I've been more of an adult is that summertime is like the harvest. It's time to harvest everything that we've been working on since the last harvest. So I love that celebration in summertime and the freedom, like you said. Less appointments. Everything slows down. It feels like it's an opportunity to slow down, which allows us to have less stress and play and such. Yeah, love summer.
I love what the both of you just shared, and I have to agree with the both of you. When I think back at, when I was younger, and I feel like I'm younger now, and I think about the camping and the campfires and the singing and the joy. And
Yes.
I believe that right now we are so blessed that we are no longer in 100% self-isolation. So we're getting out there, and let's respect the 6 feet social distancing. And let's enjoy and relax, soak up the sun, and really grab onto everything that it offers, because it truly is a delicious time of the year. It's one of the best seasons, right? And if we can just find that, I don't care how old we are. And like you said, Wendy, making those bracelets, and oh my gosh, I remember all that. And
Yes.
making the sticks with the yarn, right? With the yarn.
Guys,
And
yes.
all of those wonderful, wonderful things. So bring back the childlike within us to be able to enjoy these few months that we are blessed with for relaxing.
Yes.
I like that.
Teresa, welcome. We are talking about what makes summer so exciting. So
I think nature makes summer so exciting, being out and being in nature. So I know this summer I've done a lot of my work from the patio or the porch or one of the different places in our house. And I'm just excited to be able to be out and about. But I think being outside, and also because I'm a kid kind of person, I remember like you guys were talking about camping, just camps, and then having more time with your family, having more opportunities. We went walking in the neighborhood the other day, and I'm gonna be honest, my kids wanted to walk up all these hills and stuff, and I was like, I don't feel like doing that, but it ended up being fun, being out with your animals and just taking a break, as well as just hearing the birds chirp and being around greenery and scenery. So to me, summertime offers a lot of opportunity, and that's how I feel about it.
I'm curious, what do you all think about, because I know there's a lot of virtual summer camps going on. How effective do you think those are right now?
They're as effective as we want them to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we have. So we have to look at it as it's the best of the best. And because of the Dollar Tree store, I swear they should absolutely sponsor me. But because of the Dollar Tree store, you can go and get all the materials that are necessary to participate in the virtual camps. And you can make it fun, and you could build tents in your house, and you could do all of these amazing things to give the environment of being there in person. Is it the same? No. But if we make it the same and we are joyfully engaged in it, we will have the same amount of fun. I believe that.
I think that you have a point. It's about making sure that the child is not sitting in front of the screen watching somebody do something. They're actually engaged in doing it. Because I find that that a lot of young people love to sit on their phone, and they could be there all day long staring in space, playing games. Their thumbs are the strongest muscle in their body, but the power is getting them involved and participating. To sit there and watch, I don't think it's such a great thing.
Exactly.
As a parent educator, I think it is great. You just have to, like you said, as the educator here, that it be active. I just hosted a virtual summer camp. I do a summer camp every year called Girls Making Moves. It's for tween and teen girls from 12 to 16. And this year I was going to not do it. One of my co-partners was like, "You think that's really going to work?" I said, "This works. We're teaching them to be creative. Parents need something for their children to do. Great point. Get off of that cell phone and pad and tablet." I know because I have a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old. And we had a great time. We had yoga, we had Zumba, we had dance, we had doctors come, bankers come. It was social emotional. We had science classes, and they even have gift cards and stuff being mailed out to them. So they enjoyed it. Some of the teenagers that I don't think thought they were going to enjoy it, including one of my teenagers, were like, "Are we doing that next week? What's going on next week?" I think it is what we create. And also we need to teach our children to pivot, because they're growing up in a world right now that is different than what we've ever seen before and what they've seen. And if we continue to tell them, "Oh, the old way is coming back," and it doesn't, how does that affect their emotional and mental health?
So true.
I like what I just heard you say. So, by being, and even Lindy started off with saying by being creative and innovative, I mean, we are at that point, you're tapping into your higher faculties. And that's really where the seeds of genius lies. And that's where, to me, the excitement, and as Vismaya says, the deliciousness of life resides. But what do we do as adults when our summer plans have been interrupted? What do we do?
You make new plans. First of all, I think, when talking about this or mental health is, okay, your summer plans are changed or canceled. So it's allowing yourself to feel that disappointment, because you're naturally going to, and then pivot, to use that word, to, okay, what's next, right? So to be able to get curious, like, what is our favorite parts of vacation? Why were we going to where we were going? And looking at the qualities that were most important, because everybody's vacation is different, right? Some people are just lying on the beach. Other people like adventure. Other people want to see museums. So once you have a little bit of clarity around what you are actually looking for from vacation, then you can start to redesign it in either a virtual way, in a backyard way, at the Dollar Tree way, whatever way it is, knowing what you were actually looking for from that vacation. I think that's an important piece of getting curious with ourselves and what's most important.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the childlike behavior within us. Why do we always have to be such an adult? Why? Who said that we always have to act mature? I'm not saying act immature, but what's wrong with the childlike within us coming out? And again, we're blessed, we're fortunate, we are not in 100% self-isolation. So be creative, reinvent the wheel of summer, this summer. Reinvent it. Because if you could reinvent it for you, the others that maybe it's just one other person, and maybe it's just you. All I know is that when I take myself into my childlike state, I can figure out a lot of ways to enjoy this summer, even if it's alone, even if it's alone. So that's my point of view.
It's interesting because when I heard this was a topic, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be on this call, because I really had to put myself in check, because I find myself like I'm home all the time, and and it's hot outside and I don't want to be in the heat like you were talking about earlier. I'm like, my morning walk has stopped, and I found myself going, what are you doing to have a little bit of fun in your life? And really getting, like we keep saying, creative and finding things that you can do. And I am still like, I am not interested in being around people. I don't want people in my vicinity. I need my space. And, a couple of things I've had to do this week are just say, get up and like really talk sternly to myself and say, figure it out. And I marched myself to the beach and I sat there at night one night and I was there for a couple hours and I took an evening swim and it was delightful. But it's giving yourself permission, or not even permission. Like I had to be my own parent at this point and say, get up and go do it. And then the other thing I'll add is, talking about being creative is I was tutoring my nephews the other day, and it's like right now I'm in quarantine again. And how do you do that in a fun way? How do you tutor and teach kids in a fun way? So I have some interesting games that we get to play, and so that will be fun for me. Just spending time and watching them act silly is always fun. But this was a very important call for me to be on for myself today. So I'm glad you picked this topic.
I just want to give a quick silliness, okay? So I went to the park the other day and I was alone. And I got a blanket and I got a little bit of picnic stuff that I enjoy to eat. I was completely alone. And it was like, remember when you were a smaller child and you had an imaginary friends? So that was me. That was me. I was sitting there and I was having a lovely chat with my invisible friend, and my invisible friend was answering me. And it was joyful because it was it was everything I wanted to hear. Somebody was passing by and they looked, and I could watch them, and they looked like, who the heck is she talking to? And I just waved to them, and they turned around and they came back. I said, are you okay? And I said, I'm very okay. I'm with me and me. So it doesn't matter. It's up to you to create the ridiculousness that you are willing to accept to do.
I 100% agree. I went to the beach that night and there was a whole group of people. And of course I'm nosy. I'm like, why is there a group of people? And I got a little closer, but not too close. And they lit off these beautiful lanterns. So I had a light show, and then there were fireworks on one side. So I agree with you, but sometimes it's first recognizing, why am I in a rut? And then saying, okay, put on your big girl pants and figure out, how do I pull myself out? So yes, I do play dates by myself all the time. I agree with you.
I wanted to say from a parent's point of view, but first on my own point of view, like just going to Walmart at this point could be fun. So I was talking to my spouse a few weeks ago, and everybody's working from home, including him, right? And he was like, one of his coworkers was like, I got to go to Walmart, and I felt like I was at a beach with a bikini on. And I understand why. Because she was in there, she was enjoying it. Now, I did not go to Walmart and get happy because I wasn't liking Walmart like that. But my girls wanted to go to Hobby Lobby, and we had a blast in Hobby Lobby, looking at stuff, talking about rearranging stuff, redecorating. And then after we bought all our stuff, we tried to leave, and it was a big storm out. So one of my daughters is like, me, I'm not running in that storm. The other one's like, give me the keys. It's raining. It's going to be fun. So if we could do, as you said, Wendy, go back into that inner child self, sit on that picnic blanket. Well, one of my things is I haven't been able to wear my summer hats this year. I'm kind of mad about that, right? But I can put my sunglasses on and sit out here and be okay. And I had to plan some other things. So we're going to ride up to the beach one day with the kids, and not even the beach, just the shoreline in a different state than we're in. But I'm in Georgia, so I'm not sure if they're going to ban us or not. So I'm just going to figure out. I'm going to figure out if I can go. But then plan activities for your family to do. Go on a walk. We are going to come out on one of the porches at home one day, me and the girls, and use Christmas lights and fairy lights and have a night party. I'm going to put up the projector that I use for my PowerPoints and watch a movie. Use what you have. Teach your children to be creative. But guess what? Parents, live through your children. If you're not comfortable enough to have fun and be a child, live through them. Show them what it's like to be childlike as an adult as well.
Yes. Oh, you have so much fun.
So much fun. I just came back from some time with my nieces and nephews. My nieces and nephew, ages 3 to 13. And I just let myself have everything they want. Yes. Yeah. The answer was yes. And that's where, when play comes in, I think our natural thing as an adult, when we're too serious, as you were talking, Lindy, is no, I've got to do this, or the answer was always yes. And it was so much fun to see the world from their perspective, and dance through it with more joy and more ease, because none of those things mattered in that moment. And that's the beauty of being in the moment as well, right? As adults, we're always in the future. I've got to get this done, or what about this? And we can come into the moment. The beauty is there, really.
Now let's kind of expand on that a little bit. So, how do we help our adult listening audience know how to be in the moment, to not worry about what you didn't get done or what needs to get done, but literally just pause and play, laugh, and relax in the moment, in the now, because life is happening right now. It's not yesterday's gone. It's not happening tomorrow. It's now, right? So, what do you ladies have to say to those that are listening, and how they can embrace the now?
One thing I know for sure that, and I've not had to do it recently, but one of the things that you can do if you're someone that's always busy looking at your watch and your schedule, is to actually write now on your wrist. So when you go to look at your watch, it says, what time is it? Oh, it's now. It's now. So finding some type of structure that whether it's on your phone, it pops up, it's now, or something, because we've got to train our mind first to come into that moment. So that's the first thing that popped into my mind. I used to do it years ago because I was committed to learning to be in the moment, and I had to be reminded constantly to come back to now. I still have to be reminded, come back to now. So a structure. What about you, ladies? How do you, what's one of the ways you do it?
So I think more than coming back to now, but one of the things that if I'm in that crazy space where I don't want to, I'm not allowing myself to play, is schedule that in. Hey, at 5:00, everything gets put away and you are going to go to the beach. I mean, thank God I live 10 minutes from the beach. Go to the beach or go to the park or whatever it takes. Or, even in the middle of the day, stop and get up and do a dance for 5 minutes, and especially if you're playing with kids, it doesn't have to be so structured. Like, as a teacher, one of the things I always said, and my colleagues were like, stop it with the fun already. I'm like, education and learning needs to be fun. It has to be fun. And watching my 3-year-old nephew or 4-year-old nephew the other day, I was showing him alphabet and we were playing, and he looks at me and he says, he's hysterical. He's like, Phoebe, I can't walk anymore because it hurts my brain. My brain starts to melt. So, like, I don't even know what that means, but okay. But just playing and allowing yourself to not be so structured. And that was for me being in the moment. Like, as an educator, I'm like, well, we've got to get, letters A through B done today. And he had a different agenda, and it's allowing that agenda to kind of, sometimes go by the wayside, and just to be in that space of play and recognize it. Like, this is a moment we get to play. This is a moment I get to laugh and take off my teacher hat and BTT. And you want to throw trucks around, build the letter A with a truck, or, show me, you take all your trucks out and show me how you make an A with a truck. And that was kind of the game that we played. And it was fun. Like, it was probably the best part of my week last week is being with my 2 nephews and playing and getting work done at the same time. So recognizing those moments is what I see, like, with the eyes open.
One of the things, this Maya was on one of our shows. Gosh, it's going on a year now. And she was talking about movement and how movement is healing and therapeutic. And she challenged us. I mean, we're on a show like this to stand up and do sensual hip circles.
Are we doing it? Are we? I was thinking we should dance. I was thinking that there should be something.
Miss Maya, can you take us through a hip circle exercise?
I can, but I have to tell you because this is one of those days when it's party on the top. I am in pajama pants. I went to go get COVID tested yesterday, and I have to tell you, this is the funniest thing ever. So I'm feeling very smart with myself. I'm like, well, if they look at me, I've got lipstick on. My hair looks great today. But I don't have to get out of the car. So I left my PJ pants on. I had my nice shirt on. I went to get COVID tested. You had to get out of the car to go make the line. And I am cracking up because they wouldn't let me get tested, but not because I was in pajama pants. All right, so let's stand up. So I'm just giving you the fair warning. I got PJ pants on.
Nice.
All right, so we're gonna shake it out for a second. Shake it out. And then really all it is about just feeling and being. So we're going to take our hips and we're going to bring our hips to the right and then push it forward and bring it to the side and bring it down. And when you bring it down, allow your hands to hit the floor, scrape the floor. And whatever feels good for you. If you can't go that low, don't go that low. If you just want to stand here and play with your hip swirls, do your hip swirls. But allow your hands to go wherever they want to go. You know, I love when my hands drag up my legs. I love, just to move the body, just twist and it feels so good and it feels so delicious and you feel beautiful, right? I feel beautiful when I do that. And I'm even going, wow, I'm going to take my hair down and shake it, and just move it.
Nice.
Isn't that nice?
Yes.
And it takes 30 seconds.
Freeing.
Yeah. And just swirl, move, figure it
And
out.
I think for women, that is so important to get into feeling your own body.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it feels good. You feel sexy. You feel sensual. It's all about you in the moment.
Flow.
I used to teach a pole fitness class, and it was never about dance for your man. It was about being in your own body, in your own skin, whatever size you were, just moving. And it was liberating.
That was awesome.
So there you have it.
Woo! I even heard my back crack, which is awesome.
Thank you, Miss Maya. We
Great stretch.
My pleasure.
So we all know that it's important to, with all the stress, with all the anxiety, sometimes people want to say, well, I'm not feeling any stress. I'm good. But how do we deal with all the chaos that's going on and not feel something? So being able to play, laugh, like you said, you went out to get your COVID test and you thought you had to just stay in the car and you had to get out and you were able to laugh at yourself, right?
So funny.
And laughing is, it does release those endorphins and you just feel good. And I know before you jumped on, Teresa, Lindy had Ziggy saying hello to us.
Hi, Ziggy.
So even animals, those of you who have your fur buddies or
Absolutely.
fur babies, that can actually help to alleviate stress that you may feel.
I love what you were talking about too, Miss Maya, about
Teresa, who do you have?
This is Little Poppy. He's a Dachshund and Chihuahua mix. He's the only other male in the house besides my husband. So my husband said his name is Little Poppy because he's Big Poppy. He stays outside with me most of the day.
Oh, there's Ziggy.
Oh my God.
I see Ziggy. I
One
love
right now,
Ziggy's ears.
the other one's a cat.
well, we can learn a lot from our dogs the way they play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they play for little bits at a time, and then they rest,
Unconditional love.
and then they rest, and then they, it's just they're in the moment, right? There's exactly what we're looking at. They're
Oh.
great examples.
If I could find a man that looks at me the way Ziggy looks at me,
You would be golden.
I'd be more than golden.
For me, I guess that's Big Poppy.
Awesome. I'm glad you have a big poppy. I'm glad you have a little poppy. I got it. Okay, Ziggy. That's unconditional.
So ladies, what ideas, and we've shared some fun stories, but what ideas of that you have that you get for individuals to think about in creating play, laughter, and relaxation, even if it's from your own backyard? And we heard what Teresa said about, having the Christmas lights up and creating this outdoor movie night. Do you have any other suggestions, creative ideas that people can do? You can even go, as Lindy said, in the park, have a wonderful picnic with your imaginary friend. I mean, there's just, the sky's the limit with ideas, right?
Yes. Yeah. One of the exercises I share with my clients is called childhood yummies. And if you're not sure what really is fun to you now, right? Because as an adult, fun may look different. And by spending some time, and like you were talking about, Lindy, tapping into your inner child, thinking back to when you were a child and what were the things that you loved the most. Right. And then just really thinking about that. Like for me, I remember board games. I loved board games. I loved music and dancing. And so from there, I look at, okay, how do I get more board games in my life? Right now we can't do that social distancing, but we can meet with friends online and play games. I mean, it's really as fun because I've been doing it, and there's all kinds of online games that you could play together by downloading. So it's super fun. So I've been doing that. And then the music, like if music was something you loved, whether it's pulling out your record collection or dancing like we did, or maybe even learning to play an instrument. Now is a great time to be able to do that. I'm learning to play the ukulele now, and I can just sit and strum, and it's so relaxing and so beautiful. And I only do it for for that, it's like 5 or 10 minutes. And that is like a reset, right? So it doesn't have to be like committing to a whole day of fun. It could be find what's fun for you now as an adult, and then look at how you can weave it into your current situation. Those are 2 things I'm doing now.
I like that. And there's also, when you talk about games and board games, and I know that there are people out there going, but I'm alone. Who's going to play with me? And that's that wall that you keep putting up. So here's a solution: Meetup.com. Meetup.com is a social site where people get together, and there are so many groups that are now doing playtime. And I've been on several, and I'm playing with people all over the world.
How cool is that?
All I know is that I got friends now that if I decide to go somewhere, they've already invited me to visit them, So get out of your own way. We have to get out of our own way.
I like that.
Meetup.com. That's a great solution for those like me that are single and create invisible friends. I mean, yeah, I could put a chess game out, and I could play my piece and walk around the other side and play the other piece. I could do that. But Meetup.com, it's a great solution. And it costs zero. Nothing.
Zero. I was going to say you might need to just be okay with your water bill being a little higher this year. Because maybe you can't get to the beach. We just talked about talking to our girls. They're very upset that we're not at hotels and at beaches this year. They're used to the hotel. They're used to the beach. They're asking us about that. So it's a few things that we thought of. People rent, the inflatables for birthday parties. Life is a party and a celebration. Rent an inflatable for your kids during this so-called isolation. So they have, we've given them a deal. If you complete your chores and do such and such up to the week before back to school, I am renting them an inflatable that has the water slide, and that's what they're going to do. Now they've also asked for a trampoline, but guess who's going to be in all of that? Teresa. I'm going to enjoy it. So that's one. But even going back to being little kids or being adults and enjoying from working in early childhood, it can be very simple and inexpensive. Bubbles. Go to the dollar store. Get some bubbles.
I love bubbles.
Get a bubble, like a bubble blower thing, right? You could do that. And then we're women. I'm not even a girl that wears a lot of makeup, but I guarantee you I have a bunch of stuff, right? You guys have there's a bunch of stuff sitting around from Amway, Mary Kay, your MAC, whatever. Pull that stuff out and have a pamper night. Have a pamper day. That's how we got the idea for the projection. One of the girls said, I wish we had a projector. And I said, we can use the other projector. And we had a spa night. Pull out your basketball or whatever. Do those things. We have everything we need to enjoy. Oh, and the last question, the last thing is, if you're good with the water bill going up, have you guys remember, some of you, maybe you or your children, the slip and slide? Make a slip and slide. Get some trash bags out. Put them on the lawn. Like, get the hose out. Slip and slide time. And then now my girls cannot tell me about they can't wear their bathing suit. So, and it's for me. I'm not getting on the slip and slide though. That's
Oh, I love
Teresa.
Do you remember when we were children and we used to just run through the sprinklers?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I told them.
Boom. Oh, you are adorable.
Water balloons.
Yeah.
My church had a water balloon fight for the kids. And it was social distancing. So many things we can do.
You just reminded me of, so I put out a gratitude calendar every month, and it has ideas and things you can do every day. And the other day was body painting day. And I texted my brother, I'm like, get body paints for the kids. And I'm like, how fun. And it could be rated PG. And if you have a significant other, it could take it up a notch. I mean, let's be real, we're women here. But have a body painting day where you can just play and, and you were talking about the makeup, but instead of just being, looking beautiful, make it wild and fun. And, for me, that's fun. And I forgot about that, but thank you for saying that. Cause I used to love to paint my hair wild colors and, paint my face and do weird things that were and I would have a blast doing it. And now I can't go necessarily walk around and share it with the world, but I can show it on Zoom. And even like LaWanna the other day when we had the dinner party, that was so much fun. Like, yeah. I jumped on because you asked me to jump on, but just having a dinner party with people and seeing what everybody's needing and having conversations other than business and how you're promoting yourself and what you're doing with your business and just learning about each other. That was really important for me. That was really powerful for me because it took being in quarantine and connected me with people all over the country. So
I love these ideas. Hold on, I got to talk to my invisible friend. Do you want to go do it? You do? You do? All right, later we'll go to Publix and we'll get some whipped cream and we'll get some chocolate. We'll do that. Okay?
What kind of party are you having over there?
Well, it's my invisible friend that we could do it.
I knew it. It's cheaper that way as well, more affordable. Party for one, but two.
That's great.
Well, ladies, before we end, I'd like to do a round robin. This has been great. I hope everyone watching has enjoyed the fun, the laughter, but also the serious in this, and that we really want you to be able to play, to laugh, and to relax during this time because it's healthy for your mind, your body, and your soul. But if we can, and I'll start with you, Lindy with an L, share something inspiring, motivating, or encouraging with our listeners.
Don't be afraid to let your guard down and not be such an adult. That's it. That's it. Because we don't always have to be an adult. That's one of the biggest challenges we have. We always think we got to be an adult. What do you think? They say he says leash says no. That's my advice. Don't be such an adult. Have fun.
Wendy.
I think for what I'd like to share is if it's something that is important to you, have fun. Define what it is, and then find a couple other people that want to have fun with you, and set up some fun dates. Just set up a date, even if it's two other friends that you're going to get together every Thursday at 5. A couple things happen here. One is you have something to look forward to every week that you know is going to happen, that you know you're going to do at least one fun thing a week. Two, if everybody rotates on bringing a different activity, then you just get to show up and do something really cool for an hour, and that accountability and camaraderie, the socialness, the laughter will go a long way. So find some other fun friends and set up your fun dates and have something to look forward to. Because studies have shown time and time again that a lot of times you have more fun and joy from planning and talking about a vacation than actually being on a vacation. So if you have something to look forward to, whether it's a weekly fun thing or maybe you plan a trip for summer next year and start talking about your summer 21 trip, and that could be exciting as well. I mean, look, now we can all go on really amazing trips because we didn't travel this year. So next year is like super duper, hopefully. But yeah, the accountability piece, I think, is very powerful for me.
Miss Maya.
So first, if you have not had fun, don't beat yourself up. It's okay. And really be okay with whatever experience you've had until now. And just let this conversation be as a reminder that, hey, life is delicious. Let's tap into some of that. And there were some amazing ways that we can find that we've shared on this call, or let your fingers do the walking on the internet and find some fun ways to play. Schedule it in, but really allow yourself to be okay with whatever you have experienced thus far.
Great. Teresa.
I guess I'm going to go with the 3 C's. One, check in with other people, see how they're doing. It feels good to help others, but to have that connection, the old school connection by phone has been a blast for me because people are actually answering their phone, right? So check in with people. It's okay. Be okay about checking out. As long as your mental well-being is good. If you need to check out for yourself, do. And then continue to use that creativity. Creativity will get us through a time like this. We are all creative beings. Figure out what's creative for you and what you enjoy. I guess it's 4 C's. And connect with yourself and get to know yourself during this time.
Okay. Well, we've got some really good things. So we have let your guard down, have fun. Don't be such an adult. If it's important to you, have fun. Set up fun dates with yourself and with others. We also heard, I can show this. Don't beat yourself up if you haven't had fun. Let this conversation be a reminder that life is delicious, and let's tap into fun ways to play. And then we heard check in with others, check out. It's okay if you want to check out. Use creativity and do what you enjoy. And most importantly, connect with yourself. So ladies, thank you so very, very much for your time. One of the things that we say within Celebrate You is love yourself, embrace yourself, and always, always celebrate you. And it starts with just accepting life as it is, not beating yourself up, being in the now, as we've heard these wonderful experts remind us of. Don't be such an adult. Tap into that child that's within you. Play, laugh, relax, and the stress will release and let go. And when all else fails, stand up and do some hip circles.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
Woo! So Lindy, Wendy, Vismaya, Teresa, thank you so very much. I look forward to seeing you next month for
Yes.
our monthly mental wellness panel. Much love, much love.
Much love. Celebrate
Stay
you.
safe. Stay
This was
safe.
amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Thank you, LaWanna.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank